Hello all, good morning, good evening based on wherever you are. This is Krishna from Analogous AI. Welcome to yet another video on AI learning. So in the last two sessions, I walked you through what you can expect from this channel, and in the second video, I spoke about whether AI is really taking away jobs and how AI is disrupting the job market and how everyone needs to be prepared to take the AI head on, right? This is the actual basics of artificial intelligence learning. Let us try to understand what intelligence is and what intelligence is, how humans acquire this intelligence versus how artificial intelligence works, right? So that is the whole point of this particular topic. Let us dive in. So if you see what happens when a human is born, right, when a baby is born, so the baby will observe the surroundings, right? He'll learn the noises. He or she will learn the noises. He or she will learn whatever the parents are saying or their uncles, aunts, everyone is saying. And over a period of time, they will start acquiring all this knowledge. They'll learn and they'll start memorizing. And using this learning and memorizing, right, they will start problem solving. Let us say there is a problem that they haven't faced before, right? So they've acquired knowledge over a period of time, and some people will be super creative in problem solving, some will be okay with problem solving, and so on, right? So we are applying what we have learned to solve a problem that we haven't seen before. And the same goes with decision making. There is a situation, you have to take a decision, right? You use your intelligence to make a decision, right? And that situation is something that you might not have experienced before, right? So that is what intelligence is. So what we are trying to do, we are learning from experiences. We are adapting to changes, right? For example, I'm driving a bicycle or a bike, I fell down, and then I'll know what mistake I made that led to that situation, and then I'll adapt, right? And then we'll reason, right? And then all this put together, we are trying to make the decisions. But AI does this artificially. It doesn't have human-like intelligence. AI does this artificially. Let us try to understand how AI works in real time. Before that, I want to talk about how human brain works, right? A brain has, I don't want this to be a biology lesson, so I'll skip to the important points. So human brain has got multiple parts, right? Distinct regions like cerebrum, cerebellum, and brain stems, and so on and so forth. Whole of your body is connected to your brain through neurons and glial cells, and every time there is something, a sensation, something in your body, right? Brain gets that signal through the neurons, and then that is when the brain takes or gives you the actual information on what exactly is happening based on what the neurons is carried, right? Now, what is a neuron and why it is so important, right? Now, let us look at one small analogy. So let us say you are in Hyderabad or Bangalore, one of the biggest metros in India, right? And there are a lot of traffic signals, and neurons are just like your traffic signals. They carry information, right? Each light, they decide, right, whether cars stop or go. You have red signals, right? They decide what happens with the traffic. And if you see what exactly happens, one light doesn't control the whole city. There are like multiple traffic signals, and imagine each traffic signal as a neuron, right? They carry the information. They will decide what to happen with the traffic, and they ensure that the traffic is flowing smoothly, right? So human brain has got billions of neurons. All of them work together, right? And they create these distinct parts of brain, right? The thought process in the brain, the memory portion of the brain, and the consciousness, right? All of this happens because of these neurons. And this is what exactly, right, scientists took as a basis, and they have built something called neural networks. So I'm skipping the two slides because one is about how humans learn, another is what artificial intelligence is. But then, I'll talk about why scientists have built neural networks, right? So if you see, we are talking about neurons, which are like billions in number in our human brain, and those are the ones which carry signal and all that. Taking inspiration of that, the AI researchers have built something similar to a neural network that is there in the brain, right? So simply put, there's what it looks like. You have an input layer, nothing but the layer where humans can interact with the model, artificial intelligence model, and that model will take your query, get it processed through a lot of hidden layers within in the backend, and once the backend processes that request, whatever human request it is, and this hidden layer or the backend, it has got multiple layers of neural networks. I'll show you in a bit what I mean by multiple layers. And once the processing is done, it will output. This is how simple it looks from a 10,000 feet view, right? So you have an input layer, and you have a processing layer, which is the actual neural network, and then you have an output layer. The hidden layer is where the intelligence is. Input and output layer are just kind of interfaces. They are dumb interfaces. Now, again, putting it very, very simply, you take input, you decide what is the best output, and then you show the output. And in this process, there is something called weight. Weight is nothing but the right word to use as a response for your query. Now, there could be multiple possible responses, but weights decide and the importance of the word that is being given as an output, right? We'll talk about something called weights and temperatures of artificial intelligence models in the upcoming classes. For now, remember, when you talk about AI models or ML models, they have two different pieces of settings. One is called weights, which decides which word is the better output for the query. And there is something called temperature, which decides how creative you want AI to be. So the more creative you want the AI to be, the more mistakes it might make, right? But the creativeness will improve. So those settings are more of like, volume settings on your keyboard, right? You decide what is that you like and you set that so that it will give right output based on your liking, right? So we'll talk more about that in the upcoming classes. And this is the actual or more like 500 feet overview of how a neural network works. You have an input layer again. In the previous slides, we have seen the processing layer, which is nothing but a hidden layer. It has got multiple neurons. For now, just to make it super simple, let us take each neuron as a computer. When you request something on the input layer, you have put a prompt that goes to the hidden layer, and the hidden layer will process that. And hidden layer is nothing but a huge piece of mathematics and code put together, which is processing your request and then giving you an output, right? This is how a neural network works. Just don't worry about what is this math, what is this code, and how it all works. In the upcoming videos, we'll dive deep into each one of them. Now, let us take a real world example. You have a phone, you open your lock using facial recognition, right? And that is artificial intelligence. Human sees a face, right? But AI doesn't see a face. It sees an edge. If you see here, it sees an edge. It sees a shape. It sees a distance, right? It does mathematical calculation and it says, okay, this is Krishna who is trying to open his phone, and I have Krishna's face already, recognized in the past when he is trying to set this facial recognition. And I verified it as Krishna and I'm opening the phone, right? That's how it works. And how does it know, or how does AI do this facial recognition? Let us dive deep, right? So I'll come back to this slide, but let me go to this slide. Humans, let us take a kid. You show a kid one cat. Next time he sees an animal, he might call it a cat. But probably that cat, whatever he is calling as a cat, could be a dog. You will correct him. No, you tell him that no, that is not a dog. That is not a cat. It is a dog. If he or she learns it for 3-4 times, they understand what is a cat and what is a dog. Humans, to learn, we need very few examples. But AI, it needs millions of examples. You show multiple different variations, multiple different angles of cats, pictures, and that's how AI learns that it is a cat. It mathematically stores this information, images within the system, and every time you show a new picture, it tries mathematically analyzing what it is, and it does the recognition, right? That's how AI learns. Humans, we understand the meaning, right? If we are talking something, we understand the intricate meaning of what you're exactly trying to say. But AI, it is all about patterns. It is all about prediction. It will predict the next word based on what? Based on the weights. We were talking about weights and temperature, right? Based on the weights, It is nothing but which word is a better fit, right? Every time it does a mistake, what you're doing, let me go back. Let us say you asked a question, it came up with a wrong prediction. What you're saying, okay, this is wrong. You're giving the feedback, and it adjusts its weights so that the accuracy is being improved. What are you doing? You're training your artificial intelligence. When you put an artificial intelligence into production, it might start with 30% accuracy, but the more and more information you keep feeding and more feedback you're providing, more and more training you're doing, it is improving the accuracy of the model, right? So that is how AI learns. Okay, let me skip this. And then where AI excels, humans, we are very slow. Let us say if I give you an Excel sheet with 10,000 records of data and ask you to come up with what is the analysis of this data, and let us say it is a loan data. I want to see how many people have taken a loan and closed it in 2 months, and how many people have taken a loan and the account was open for 12 months. Now, if I give the same data to AI, it can give an output in hardly 30 minutes. 30 minutes is a long time for AI to do that. But humans, we'll have to understand, we'll have to consume, we'll have to understand the patterns, we have to write mathematical equations, we have to write code to find or do the analysis on the data and so on and so forth. Will take a lot of time. AI excels at speed. And if there is a repetitive task, AI excels at automating the task. And large scale analysis of data, just I was talking about that loan example, right? AI excels in that. But humans, we are damn slow because we are not AI is damn good at predicting stuff and analyzing the intricate information or intricate, connections between the data points, right? Where humans are still superior, we are good at creativity. AI is not good at creativity in 2026 January, right? As I said, you can adjust the temperature of your AI model. It can be creative, but it will produce a lot of falsified information or it will hallucinate, right? And the creative output it has given, it might be true or it might not. But humans are born naturally with this trait and emotional understanding. In my second video, I was talking about the empathetic part, right? Humans, you can talk empathetically to your friends, colleagues, right? Which the AI models will not be able to do, right? So that's the next part. And then moral judgment. We excel at moral judgment, which AI models does not. So that is what it is. AI is a tool and it's not a brain. And it will take a lot of time for you to train AI models. And it will take a lot of time for AI models to even excel at what humans excel at today, right? So that's all for today. In the next session, we'll talk about how AI came into the market. When was it tossed? When that word artificial intelligence was tossed, and since the time it was tossed till 2026, what has changed or the evolution of AI? We'll talk about all that information in the upcoming sessions. Thank you all. Please view the complete video, like, share, and subscribe so that it will encourage me to do more content. Thank you all.